Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So, today's episode we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the monsters. Now, seeming that everything is getting worse, I like to say a tad worse, but it's getting worse. We're seeing shit that, we haven't seen in a long time, at least for us civilians. Military guys, cops, firemen, we've probably been seeing this shit for years, but on a smaller scale, more private, if you will. But the good, the bad, and the monsters, well, with everything going on, we're going to have this divide. Now, right now we have racial divide, political divide, but we're going to have moral divide. And that's going to be the bigger issue. We're going to start with the good. Now, the good, they shouldn't be naive. They shouldn't trust everyone, but they also shouldn't be paranoid freaks. Why? Because you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out who's who and who's not what and who's against you. You have to figure out trust, but that's going to be the harder part. Now, I have to say, this trusting, this being paranoid, it's going to be a delicate balance. And this delicate balance is going to have to be for each of us to navigate on our own. So we're not going to sit here and, again, be shut-ins, but then trust everyone. Again, delicate balance, guys. It's hard for me to tell you how to do it. You, unfortunately, are going to have to figure it out for yourself. Now, when you're looking at trust, when you're looking for trust, you're going to have to watch out for manipulators. You're going to have to watch out for deceiving people. That's going to be the issue. Now, you can, watch these people closely by looking at their verbiage, looking at the language they use. That's going to be the most important thing. And body language, above all, is going to be something you're going to need to watch closely. Now, when I say watch closely, I'm also referring to, again, just the way they move, right? Now, a quick story. A guy in my prepper group, he's gone now, left on his own, I didn't kick him out. He would talk about firing people, and he was sort of proud of firing people. Now, somebody fucked up at his job, and he went and fired him. And I was like, well, couldn't you just teach them a lesson and that would have been their big lesson? He's like, no, sometimes you just got to fire them and they learn their lesson that way. To me, people who take pride in firing people are fucking assholes. So, you got to watch out for that. Fucking assholes. People that take pride in fucking people over. Now, here's the harder part, being a pushover. Now, a lot of guys, and this is going to be a sex thing real quick. You got to watch out for women who will manipulate you into whatever it is they want you to do during an apocalypse or the shit hits the fan scenario. Women, you got to watch out for men that do the same thing. This is where the sex part takes play, because they'll manipulate you with sex. Some people manipulate you with thinking they're good. They'll offer you something, and in return they want it all. You got to be careful of that. That is some dangerous shit. Now, we see it now. We see it today while everything is still intact. It'll only get worse when the chips are down and the shit's on. Here's the bottom line for the good. Don't be a hero, be a leader. Don't try to save everyone. Save those who will save themselves, and save those that will help. Obviously, there's some people who can't help themselves. The disabled, mentally ill, elderly, children. Those people you go out of your way to save. But you still got to be a leader, and you still got to step in. If a ditch needs to be dug, guess what, guys? You jump in there with the men, women, and you dig that ditch. If some heavy lifting needs to be done, guess what, guys? You get in there and you lift. If you can't, you supervise. But nonetheless, you got to get your hands dirty with the people in your group. You cannot sit there and be a dictator, and you can delegate responsibilities. That's another subject altogether. But if you're going to be that good leader, you got to get your hands dirty. So, next on the list is the bad. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go down a list of bad. But they range from manipulators to abusers, right? To bullies to racists, right? Now, during a shit hits the fan scenario, racism is probably going to run rampant. I'm not going to deny that. Abuse is going to be off the chain, right? You're going to have people abusing everyone, women, elderly, special needs, regular people, right? You're going to have those who are going to manipulate you into anything and everything. Those are bad people. But bad people do have somewhat of a moral compass, because there is a line they will not cross. So there are bad people that hide amongst us, but there are bad people who are in the open. Now, the bad people that hide amongst us, they're being kept in check by society today. Cops, laws, things like that. But they still won't cross that ultimate line, even if they become bad, right? Because it's there's a certain lines with being bad or turning into the monster that can never be undone. Now, obviously, if we're talking about killing in self-defense is one thing. Killing for pleasure is the next subject I'm going to talk about, which is the monsters, but I'm not going to get there just yet. So we see bad people all the time, right? We see people that steal. We see people that steal from charities. These people who are bad, like I said, they won't cross that line into monster. They won't cross that line into rapist, serial killer, right? That's not saying all bad, because some people start out bad and then cross that line. But most bad people, especially adults, won't cross that line. The monsters. These are the worst of the worst. These are people that will do shit you could never, ever imagine. These are people that just have zero consciousness, zero conscience, and zero, or not broken, smashed to smithereen, moral compass. They have zero. They will do what's needed to be done. They will rape, they will beat, kill, sell women in, or kids into sex trafficking, kill kids for pleasure, kill kids kill people because these are the worst. These are the monsters. Now, the reason why I bring up and I call them monsters, because we, as society today, like to call everybody we don't agree with monsters. People call Trump a monster. He is not. People call Biden a monster. He is not. Kamala Harris, not a monster. Monsters are people, guys, that or some of us have seen. You can even, and I don't want to have you guys do this, but you want to see some real fucking monsters, go on a gore site. One of those sites where they have Mexican cartels cutting people up because they owe them like $2 or whatever the fuck it is, or $2,000, whatever it is. Those are monsters. The way they kill people, the way cartel and gangs, Mexican gangs that is, kill people is something you can never, ever imagine if you hadn't seen it. Now, I've been to crime scenes and nothing compares to what these guys do. You're gonna have more of those guys out there in the world. Monsters, unfortunately, guys, are going to rise out of this bullshit if it turns into a shit hits the fan scenario. You're gonna have a lot of monsters. I mean, hell, guys, we have monsters now. We have monsters that do the bad shit. Kid, get out of the street. You have monsters that do the bad things. You have monsters that rape kids. You have monsters that put them in sex trafficking. You have monsters that beat up old people for pleasure. Those are monsters. I could elaborate on all three of them a little more, but this is just giving you guys a bit of a small insight, because there's larger things to being good. There are larger things to being bad. And well, monsters, again, if you want to see what monsters are, you find yourself on a gore site, look up Colombian cartels or any cartel. You'll see the shit they do on there, and then you'll be like, fuck, we had it wrong, right? And then you got rapists and pedophiles. Those are monsters, obviously. Those go without saying. But turning people into monsters because you don't like what they say or stand for, you're an asshole. That's just as simple. That's my opinion. It's not the prepper's opinion. It's not, world opinion. It's my opinion. You're an asshole if you think, you know, people who have different political views of you as monsters. That's just my thing. Anyway, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.